and welcome for today's pig's kidney dissection. My name is Jamal Rose Gaboy, together with
Rizal Garlejo.
Today we will be exploring the structures and functions of the kidney, one of the most vital organs in the human body.
So what does our kidney do? Their main job is to cleanse the blood of toxins, waste products, and excess fluids to transform them into urine. They also help the balance of the important minerals in our body.
Now, let us examine the external anatomy of a pig's kidney. It's a bean-like shape and has a smooth and reddish surface covered by a thin protective layer called the renal capsule, with a convex border and a concave border. If we look closely, we can see a notch on the kidney called hilum. This is where the blood vessels, nerves, and ureter connect to the kidney. Now, let us locate the renal artery, which is found near the renal vein. This is the renal artery where blood enters. Next, this is the renal vein where blood exits. The renal artery has a thicker wall compared to the renal vein. This is the ureter tube that carries urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder.
So there are three regions of the kidney. It is the renal cortex, renal medulla, and the renal pelvis. These regions work together to filter blood, remove waste, and produce urine. The first layer we can see is the outer layer of the kidney, known as the renal cortex. It has a brownish color due to its dense network of blood vessels, including small arteries and veins that deliver blood to this area where filtration begins. So the renal cortex houses approximately 1 million nephrons in each kidney, which are the basic functional units responsible for filtering blood, removing waste, and balancing electrolytes. This layer facilitates the initial stage of urine formation, allowing essential nutrients to be reabsorbed into the bloodstream while waste products are excreted. And next, the renal medulla is the innermost layer of the kidney, lying beneath the renal cortex and closer to the renal pelvis. It plays a crucial role in filtering blood, concentrating urine, and maintaining the body's water and salt balance. The medulla includes a cone-shaped structures called renal pyramids, which have a shaped appearance due to the parallel arrangement of blood vessels and tubules. So each pyramid narrows a tip called the renal papilla, which points toward the renal pelvis and opens into a minor calyx. So between the renal pyramids are extensions of the renal cortex known as renal columns. These columns contain blood vessels and connective tissue, providing support to the cortex and allowing passage for blood vessels supplying the medulla and the cortex. And the last region, which is the renal pelvis, a funnel-shaped cavity located at the central part of the kidney or within the renal sinus. It acts as a collection area for urine produced in the nephron before it flows into the ureter. The pelvis is formed by the convergence of several major calyces. It also has a smooth muscle wall that helps propel urine into the ureters through peristaltic contractions. Additionally, the renal pelvis plays a crucial role in regulating urine flow and pressure within the urinary system, ensuring efficient transportation of urine to the bladder. Under the renal pelvis, we can see the calyces of the kidney. It is a cup-shaped structure that collects urine from the renal pyramids and channel it to the renal pelvis, leading to the ureter. Each kidney has a minor calyces which receive urine directly, and major calyces which form from the convergence of minor calyces, facilitating efficient urine drainage and maintaining the kidney function. The heart pumps blood to the kidneys via the aorta. Unfiltered blood enters now the kidney through the renal artery located in the hilum region. This artery branches into the segmental arteries, which then travels the spaces between the renal pyramids known as the renal columns as interlobar arteries. After this, it branches into the arcuate arteries at the top of the renal pyramids and further extends into the renal cortex as cortical radiate arteries. These vessels supply blood to the multiple nephrons while filtration occurs within the glomerulus. Blood enters the glomerulus through the afferent arterioles. Once waste is filtered, the blood exits via the afferent arterioles, which then splits into the peritubular capillaries that supply the proximal and distal convoluted tubules and the collecting ducts, and into the vasa recta, which supports the loop of Henle. After that, the blood reconverges in the cortical radiate veins, flowing into the arcuate veins of the pyramid bases. From here, the blood is directed back to the renal columns through the interlobar veins, eventually reaching the renal veins into the hilum region before sending the filtered blood into the inferior vena cava of the heart.
Urine is formed through three distinct mechanisms. The glomerular filtration, which takes place in the renal cortex, comes first, while tubular absorption occurs when the filter of the Bowman's capsule enters a proximal convoluted tubule. Water and smaller solutes are forced through the capillary walls, blood vessels, or sodium tubule. This process repeats in the renal cortex. The proximal convoluted tubule of the cortex is where the most absorption occurs. Beneficial components in the filtrate are carried out in the tubule cells and subsequently returned to the bloodstream to the nearby capillaries. Lastly, during tubular secretion, hydrogen and potassium ions, creatine, and medications are further exerted from peritubular blood by the tubule cells into the filtrate. Then, the urine exits from the front tubule into the collecting duct. The urine then exits from the front tubule into the collecting duct, travels to the renal pelvis, into the ureter, then into the urethra, and then descends into the urinary bladder.
To conclude, this kidney dissection gave us a profound appreciation for how our bodies work tirelessly to keep us healthy. Seeing the intricate structures up close reminded us of the kidney's vital role in filtering our blood, balancing fluids, and supporting our well-being. This experience deepened our understanding and respect for the amazing, often unseen work of our organs do every day to sustain us.